Jet life, jet life, jet life.
That's right. Jet Life Stadium. On Sunday, it's happening. The New York Giants hosting the New York Jets. The Jets are 2.5-point favorites without Aaron Rodgers because the Jets have kind of found something. It dates back to that Sunday night game against the Chiefs, week 4, down 17-0. They turned a corner. They haven't lost since then. They've only played 2 games since then because they were on a bye, but they have looked good. First time they've gotten together since 2019. Giants had won 5 straight in the series before the Jets won the last 2. Let's have a listen before we break this down of Zach Wilson on how that Chiefs game I just mentioned was the turning point for the backup quarterback to Aaron Rodgers.
The last 2 years, I think, tough spot and whatever with how I was mentally, and but it was finally like this year, that Chiefs game, not only, maybe a turning point like you said, but finally things felt like what I've been doing in practice, at least what I felt like I've been doing in practice since OTAs, was like, oh, look, it finally is coming on, and for whatever reason, it takes time, you get different looks, and you need to get comfortable with things, but I felt like finally that was the first game that was like, this is what I've been showing I can do, and I was able to do it, and kind of gains more trust with the guys around you as well, and they have more trust in me, I have more trust in them, and with Coach Hack as well too, and we're able to keep building on that, and it's a good feeling to have.
And Peter, it's an illustration of how quickly quarterbacks get chewed up and spit out in the NFL when, in the grand scheme of things, how many opportunities do they really have to have the game slow down, to get to the point where what they're practicing surfaces on game day? It's 1 game a week, fresh train coming down the tracks, and everything you do is hyper-analyzed and scrutinized. Sometimes it takes a little time to get to your ceiling, or at least to begin to approach it. And we see, it used to be 5 years. Terry Bradshaw got 5 years to figure it out. Now you're lucky if you get 3. Hell, people are already asking me, do the Packers need to get rid of Jordan Love? It's like, this is his first year. He sat on the bench for 3 years. It's his first year of playing. It's amazing how impatient the NFL is with quarterbacks. And you see a guy like Zach Wilson, finally, after everyone had given up on him, he's finally starting to put it together.
When I was listening to Zach Wilson, I called up on Pro Football Reference Terry Bradshaw. And I looked and I saw that, in Terry Bradshaw's first 4 years, okay, this is the first pick in the draft. First pick in the draft in 1970. And in his first 4 years, he threw 41 touchdowns with 73 interceptions. And
Jeez.
He felt pressure, obviously, from Chuck Noll. He felt like he didn't have anybody's support. Mentally, he was struggling mightily. Can you imagine Terry Bradshaw today, Mike, in the social media era? Zach Wilson was chewed up and spit out after 2 years. Get this guy out of here. I never want to see him again. And look, everybody on TV, and again, I'm not even saying he's going to be good. I don't know what he's going to be. But I will just say that Terry Bradshaw was mostly awful in his first 3 or 4 years in the NFL. And he became a Hall of Fame quarterback. They won 4 Super Bowls with Terry Bradshaw playing quarterback. In the last 2 Super Bowls, he became a great, not good, but a great trigger man in an explosive passing offense. So all I'm saying, and I've heard the same questions about Jordan Love, and I said, are you out of your friggin' minds? Are you out of your minds? Do you know that in the middle of Brett Favre's 3rd year, the coaching staff in Green Bay took a vote on who should be the starter on the team because Favre was stinking it up? You have got to be patient with quarterbacks. You might see things that are non-starters. I get it. But look, I applaud Zach Wilson. I don't know what he's going to become, but all I can say is he has looked in the last 2 weeks competent. Last 3 weeks, including the Kansas City game. He's looked competent. So let's just let nature take its course and let's see if this guy can be saved, salvaged, and then sits behind Aaron Rodgers next year and gets even better with the lessons he's going to learn in 2024. I'm assuming Rodgers plays next year. I think it's a pretty clear assumption that at least he'll try to play. But I applaud all the people like Robert Saleh, who even though nobody saw it, and he had to say it, Mike. Robert Saleh had to say it. He had no alternatives. He doesn't have the Mike White security blanket anymore. He had to say it. That Zach Wilson's our guy. I'm confident in him, all that stuff. And look, I think, too, Nathaniel Hackett started calling the game like he wasn't afraid of his quarterback. He started calling the game like, I think this guy can make plays. And he's made a few. So let's see where it takes us.
And a great opportunity on Sunday to get to 4-3 and remain in the thick of things for a playoff spot in the AFC. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.